Have you ever truly questioned your choices, or do you just assume they're yours? This outline begins with a disturbing realization that your thoughts, decisions, and even desires may not be as independent as you believe. Slowly, it unravels how your environment, social conditioning, and constant exposure to information have shaped who you are. You think you're in control, but every step you take has already been influenced. By the end, the audience is left with a haunting question. If you're not in control, then who is? What if your entire life was pre-written and you're just playing a role? This outline explores the idea that life follows a predictable pattern: school, career, marriage, routine, and we rarely question it. You believe you are making choices, but are they really yours? Or are you just following a script handed to you by society? The narrative builds toward a powerful realization: you are not the author of your life, you are just acting in it. Are you truly happy or just constantly distracted? This outline dives into the concept of fake happiness, the kind built on validation, social media, and temporary pleasure. You smile, you post, you chase approval, but deep inside, something feels empty. It gradually exposes how modern life conditions you to avoid stillness, because silence reveals the truth. The ending hits hard. If everything goes quiet, are you still happy? There's a voice inside you, and you've been ignoring it. This outline focuses on the inner truth you've buried over time. Since childhood, you were taught what to think, how to act, and who to become. Slowly, your real voice faded under expectation and fear. But it never truly disappeared. By the end, the realization becomes unavoidable. That voice you silenced was the real you. You are not bored, you are addicted. This outline explores how modern distractions, phones, scrolling, entertainment keep you from facing yourself. Every free moment is filled, not because you need it, but because you're avoiding something deeper. The story reveals how distraction has become a coping mechanism to escape reality. The ending forces reflection. The moment you remove distraction, you'll finally see what you've been avoiding. What is the moment you start questioning everything? It's the moment your reality begins to collapse. This outline begins with a subtle shift, a simple doubt that slowly grows into a storm. The things you once believed without question suddenly feel unstable. Your routines, your beliefs, your goals all start to feel future unfamiliar. The deeper you go, the more you realize that certainty was just an illusion. And by the end, one powerful realization remains. The truth doesn't give comfort, it removes it. Since the beginning, you were told what your limits are. This outline explores how fear, comparison, and expectations were planted in your mind from an early age. You were never encouraged to become everything you could be, only what was acceptable. Slowly you adapted, you shrank, you became safe, but deep inside, something still pushes against those limits, and the ending hits hard. You are not limited, you were trained to believe you are. Why do you avoid silence? This outline dives into the uncomfortable truth that most people are not afraid of loneliness. They are afraid of facing themselves. The moment everything goes quiet, your real thoughts surface, the ones you've been suppressing. That's why you keep yourself busy, distracted, surrounded. But the more you avoid it, the louder it becomes. Ending. The silence you fear holds the truth you need. What if everything you are working for isn't even your dream? This outline questions ambition itself. You chase success, money, validation, but have you ever stopped to ask why? Or did you just inherit those desires from others? Slowly, it reveals that many people spend their entire lives climbing a ladder, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. Ending, you reached the top, but it was never your mountain. At some point, you stopped being real. This outline explores how you built a version of yourself to be accepted, and over time, you forgot it was a mask. You act a certain way, speak a certain way, even think a certain way, not because it's you, but because it's expected. And the scariest part, it feels normal. Ending, you're not pretending anymore. You've become the act. Nobody talks about this part. This outline reveals that awakening doesn't feel like enlightenment at first. It feels like loss. You lose comfort, certainty, people, and even parts of yourself. It's confusing, painful, and isolating. But that's the process. Because before you find truth, you must lose illusion. Ending, freedom begins where everything familiar ends. How long have you been waiting? This outline challenges procrastination at a deeper level. Not laziness, but fear disguised as timing. You tell yourself you'll start later when things feel right. But that moment never comes, because it was never about time, it was about courage. Ending, the right time isn't coming, it's being avoided. What if the thing you keep avoiding is exactly what will change you? This outline explores resistance, the tasks, decisions, or truths you keep pushing away. You distract yourself, delay, ignore, but it stays there waiting. Because growth doesn't come from comfort. Ending, your next level is hidden inside what you're avoiding. It's not your life that's the problem. This outline reframes dissatisfaction, showing that the issue isn't existence, but how you're experiencing. You're disconnected, unconscious, repeating patterns. Change doesn't require a new life. It requires a new awareness. Ending, the moment you change how you live, your life changes with you. Nobody warns you about this. This outline shows that awakening is not peaceful, it's chaotic. Your identity cracks, your beliefs collapse, your emotions intensify. It feels like everything is falling apart, but that's because something new is forming. Ending, you are not falling apart, you are breaking open. What if the most painful thing you'll ever face is the truth? This outline breaks down the concept of ego, the identity you built to protect yourself. When truth enters, it doesn't comfort you, it destroys what's false. Your beliefs, your image, your sense of self begin to collapse. It's painful but necessary. The ending delivers transformation. When your ego dies, the real you is finally born. There's one truth no one wants to accept. You're on your own. This outline confronts the illusion of rescue, the belief that someone will guide you, fix you, or change your life. But reality is different. No one is coming. And that realization is both terrifying and empowering. The ending makes it clear. Either you save yourself or no one will. You are not afraid of the truth. You are afraid of who you really are. This outline dives into the fear that keeps you stuck. The fear of stepping outside your comfort zone and facing your full potential. You stay small, not because you have to, but because it feels safe. But deep down, you know there's more. The ending hits deeply. The thing you are running from is yourself. What if the system was never meant to wake you up? This outline explores how structures like education, media, and social norms subtly guide your thinking. You are taught what to believe, what to chase, and what success looks like without ever questioning it. It slowly reveals that staying unaware is not accidental. It's designed. The ending leaves a chilling thought. You are asleep and you don't even know it. What you are about to realize might change everything. This final outline brings together the journey of awakening from doubt to awareness, from comfort to truth. It shows how waking up is not peaceful, it's painful, isolating, and transformative. But it's also real, and once it happens, there's no return. The ending lands with full impact. Once you see the truth, you can never go back to the illusion. What if the life you are living right now doesn't actually belong to you? This outline begins with a quiet but disturbing thought that everything you call your life might just be borrowed expectation. Your career, your goals, even your identity, shaped by others before you ever questioned them. You follow a path that feels normal, but deep down, something feels off, like you're playing a role that was assigned, not chosen. And the longer you stay on it, the further you drift from who you really are. The ending hits with a cold realization. You didn't choose this life, you accepted it. It doesn't happen all at once. It happens quietly. This outline explores the slow disappearance of your true self. Every time you ignore your intuition, every time you choose comfort over truth, you lose a piece of who you are. You adjust, you adapt, you become what's expected. And one day, you wake up and don't recognize yourself anymore. Not because you changed suddenly, but because you faded over time. Ending, you didn't become someone else. You just stopped being you. It feels safe, but it's killing you. This outline dives into the illusion of comfort. You build a life where everything feels predictable and secure, but at the cost of growth, truth, and real experience. You avoid risk, avoid pain, avoid change, and in doing so, you avoid life itself. The comfort zone doesn't trap you by force, it traps you by feeling good. Ending. The place that feels safest is where you slowly disappear. When was the last time you were truly present? This outline explores how most people live unconsciously, repeating the same routine, thinking the same thoughts, reacting the same way. Days blur together, time passes, life moves, but you don't feel it. You are not choosing, you are just continuing. And the scariest part, it feels normal. Ending, you are not living your life, you are just replaying it. There's something you already know, but you keep ignoring it. This outline focuses on that one truth you push away about your life, your choices, your direction. You distract yourself to avoid facing it, but it never leaves, because it's not just a thought, it's clarity waiting to be accepted. Ending. The truth you keep running from is the one that will set you free. Growth has a cost, and most people aren't ready to pay it. This outline explores how fear of losing people keeps you stuck. You stay the same to maintain relationships, to avoid judgment, to keep things comfortable. But growth requires change, and change creates distance. The deeper truth is painful. Not everyone is meant to grow with you. Ending. You are not losing people, you are outgrowing them. You keep looking for something, but you don't know what it is. This outline reveals the endless search for happiness, purpose, meaning in external things. People, achievements, validation. But nothing lasts, because what you are searching for isn't out there. It never was. Ending. Everything you are chasing has been within you all along. There's a version of you that you haven't met yet. This outline paints a picture of your potential, not in a motivational way, but in a haunting one. That version of you exists, but it's buried under fear, doubt, and habit. Every day you delay becoming them, they drift further away. Ending, you're not becoming who you could be. You're avoiding them. It's easy to say I'm stuck. This outline breaks that illusion. You're not stuck because you can't move. You're stuck because you're afraid of failure, change, judgment, the unknown. So you stay where you are and call it stuck. But deep down, you know the truth. Ending, you're not trapped, you're choosing not to move, there's always a moment that changes everything. This outline builds toward the turning point, a realization, a decision, a shift in awareness. It doesn't come with warning, it doesn't feel dramatic at first, but once it happens, nothing is the same. You see differently, you think differently, you are different. Ending brings it all together. That moment isn't coming, it's already here. You just have to see it. It's tiring, pretending to be someone you are not. This outline dives into the emotional weight of wearing a mask every day. You act differently around different people. Say what's expected, hide what's real. Over time, it drains you, not physically, but mentally and emotionally. You feel exhausted, even when you've done nothing. Because pretending is work, and the worst part, you've done it for so long, you don't even know who you really are anymore. Ending, you are not tired of life, you are tired of pretending. What if one day you saw yourself with complete honesty? No filters, no excuses, no illusions. This outline builds toward a moment of brutal self-awareness where you stop blaming, stop avoiding, and finally face the truth about who you are, where you are, and how you got there. It's not a comfortable moment, but it's a necessary one, because clarity changes everything. It strips away lies and forces growth. Ending lands deep. The moment you truly see yourself is the moment your real life begins. What if everything you believe about yourself? This outline begins with a powerful disruption. Your identity isn't fixed, it's constructed. Your name, your personality, your beliefs, all shaped by experiences and external influence. You think you know yourself, but you only know the version you've been repeating. The deeper truth, there's a layer beneath all of it, something raw, undefined, and real. Ending hits like a shock. You don't know who you are. You only know who you've been told to be. Every day you repeat a story in your mind about who you are and what your life means. This outline explores how that internal narrative shapes your reality and how most of it isn't true. You tell yourself why you can't change, why things are the way they are, and slowly that story becomes your prison. But what happens when you question it? When you stop believing it? Ending. Your life didn't trap you. Your story did. You've been trying to fix yourself, but what if you were never broken? This outline flips the perspective. The problem isn't that something is wrong with you, it's that you've never truly seen yourself clearly. You misinterpret your thoughts, your emotions, your patterns, and label yourself as flawed. But awareness changes everything. Ending delivers a shift. You don't need fixing. You need to see. Someday I'll start. Someday I'll change. This outline exposes the lie of someday. It feels comforting, like you have time, like there's a future moment where everything will align. But that moment never comes, because someday is not a plan, it's an escape. It keeps you in place while making you feel hopeful. Ending hits reality. Someday isn't coming. It's keeping you stuck, waiting for the right time, the right feeling, the right version of yourself. This outline shows how life becomes a constant state of waiting. You delay decisions, postpone risks, hold back action. You think you are preparing, but you are actually avoiding. And while you wait, life moves forward without you. Ending lands heavy. You are not preparing for life. You are missing it. You want truth, but only if it feels good. This outline breaks that illusion. Real truth is uncomfortable. It challenges your beliefs, exposes your flaws, and forces you to confront reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. Most people don't avoid truth because it's hidden. They avoid it because it's painful. Ending delivers impact. Truth doesn't exist to comfort you. It exists to wake you up. There comes a moment when your old self can't continue. This outline captures the final stage of transformation, where the version of you that lived in illusion begins to fade. It's not a dramatic ending. It's a quiet shift. You think differently, feel differently, feel old patterns don't fit anymore. And even though it feels like loss, it's actually growth. Ending closes the loop. You didn't lose yourself, you outgrew who you used to be. So now, after everything you've seen, everything you felt, there's only one question left. Not about the world, not about people, but about you. Because the truth is, nothing out there was ever the real problem. It was the way you were seeing it, the way you were living it. You kept searching for answers in noise, in distraction, in other people, but the entire time, the answer was waiting in the one place you kept avoiding within yourself. And now that you've seen it, even if just for a moment, you can't unsee it. You can try to go back to your old life, your old thinking, your old version of yourself, but it won't feel the same anymore because something inside you has shifted, and that shift is irreversible. You've realized that the comfort you were protecting was the very thing holding you back. The identity you were defending wasn't even real. The life you were chasing wasn't even yours. And now, standing at this point, you have a choice. Not an easy one, not a comfortable one, but a real one. You can close your eyes again, return to the illusion, and pretend none of this ever happened. Or you can step forward into the unknown, into the truth, into a version of yourself that is raw, unfiltered, and real. But understand this. The moment you choose truth, you lose the ability to live a lie. And yes, it will feel lonely. It will feel confusing. It will feel like everything is falling apart. But what's actually happening is something far more powerful. You are not losing your life. You are finally seeing it. So take a breath and ask yourself not who you were, not who you pretended to be, but who you are right now, in this exact moment, because this is where your real life begins.